So one thing that folks don't realize is that our state wildlife agencies, every state has one, are able to do wildlife restoration work because of hunters, tag fees, license fees, and excise taxes that got placed on hunters back in the 30s through an act called the Pittman Robertson Act. And it's a tax that goes into a pool of money that then gets distributed back down to the states. So again, show us, right? Show us the proof. Show us the proof of this money and what it does. So the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation has been working to bring back quail in the state of Oklahoma. Quail numbers have been plummeting all across the country, and the Department of Wildlife Conservation said, hey, we want to do something about it. So in 2011, they started funding science behind quail restoration, quail conservation. That research went through disease and movements and habitat restoration and population dynamic work, and all of that research was paid by hunters and hunting. You have to invest in science to be able to manage wildlife correctly. It's the foundation of wildlife management. But science is expensive if you do it correctly, and who is going to pay for it? You don't see pro-wildlife groups stepping up and saying, here, State Wildlife Agency, here's money. You don't see it. But hunters and hunting is paying for all this research. So in 2020 alone, the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation received $13 million from the Wildlife Restoration Fund, which is that fund that accumulates all the excise taxes up in DC. And that money is used, like we just articulated, for the science behind wildlife restoration, like quail. So show me who else has paid $13 million to the State Wildlife Agency to sustain wildlife in the respective states. I'll wait. Because you see, that's the proof.